Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to show you guys what I do with my morning routine and my everyday look. So basically, it's my skincare, duh, and all the products I use for my everyday look. I won't say that it's simple because there are a lot of products and the process is pretty lengthy, but for me, because I've been doing it for so long, it feels pretty normal. But for the next person, they're probably going to look at it going, what the hell? That's like kind of like a glam look, in a sense where it's a lengthy process. Like I said, like there is powders involved, contour, highlight, and all that stuff. But this is just my look. You could use it as an everyday look if you like, or you could use it as a glam look if you like, to help you up towards that glam look, sorry. So before we get started in today's video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video if you know, like the tips and tricks and everything that I've used for my everyday look. Ring that bell. Oh, I forgot what I was about to say for a moment. But ring that bell so you're notified of my upcoming videos because my schedule is not really consistent at all. And don't forget to follow me on my social media handles and we will get started to the video. So we're going to start with Kiehl's toner, the Ultra Facial Oil-Free Toner. It's very hydrating and it helps balance the skin for a fresh finish. So this is my daytime toner. So I saturate the cotton pad, just run it over my face, down to the neck. Okay, so as that is being absorbed into the skin, I will go in with the Ordinary, the caffeine solution. And this is supposed to reduce the appearance of the eye contour, pigmentation, and puffiness. So I just use a little bit of this under my eyes. And then I'll go into another eye product. So this is what it looks like, and I just dab a couple there. You'll need much because it has caffeine, and just pat all over the eye contour up to the brow bone. This is a very inexpensive product. I believe it was probably about $8 or so, and with the caffeine, it helps wake up the eyes, reduce the puffiness. So now we're gonna go in with the Codaline, the Vino Pure Skin Perfecting Serum. So this has salicylic acid. That's such a weird word for me to say. I can't really pronounce it too well. It's supposed to address the blackheads, the pores, the excess oil on there. I usually use this at night. You can use this morning and night, but I prefer the nighttime. But there are days where I kind of need that extra help from my skincare. So today I will use it. Do keep in mind that if you do use this during the day, to wear a good sunscreen because of the acids. Your skin will be very sensitive to the sun, even more so if you already have sensitive skin. So I usually do 2 pumps, but today, since I'm just going to concentrate on my forehead, we're just going to use 1 pump. Also, this particular product is really good for combination to oily skin. So next we're going to go in with the Dermalogica Multivitamin Power Firm. Really good to help fill in those fine lines and just kind of give you a more youthful appearance. This isn't cheap, but a little does go a long way. And I'm just going to do 1, 2. So I do have some fine lines right here. And with this, it helps fill them in and smooths out the eye contours. So next we're going to go in with Dr. Dennis Gross, the Alpha Beta Pore Perfecting and Refining Serum. This is amazing. It feels great. This is cruelty free. It's also vegan in case you guys are wondering, and this is great on like the face. It helps refine. It feels just amazing, and it also doesn't feel heavy, which is a bonus for me. On my forehead, the sides of my cheeks, you don't need too much of it because it does spread out a lot. So as that's being absorbed to my skin, we're going to use this product. This is the, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but the Volition Strawberry Sea Serum. So this product helps to brighten your skin. You can also use this for your entire face, neck, and décolletage. And I really like this because over time when I have been using this, I have noticed my skin to look really bright. So it does as it claims because, hold on. So we're going to do this in a upward motion. because we're trying to lift everything, not drag it down. So the product is really good for pores. It's also great for brightening up the skin. Because strawberry does have vitamin C, it does help brighten up the complexion a lot. And we are also going to use from the same brand, Volition. This is the Celery Green Cream Hyaluronic Acid plus Peptides. Because I have oily combination skin, I would like to hydrate it just so there isn't a lot of oil production on my T-zone. So a little does go a long way with this. This spreads out quite a bit. So I did not pick up much on my finger. Like, this is a very thin layer. And I just, you know, when it said celery, I'm like, I'm not really a fan of the smell of celery. It's actually not overwhelming at all. And also with this moisturizer, there's a little bit of tackiness afterwards. To me, it's great because once you put on your primers, it will help adhere a lot better. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't moisturize my neck yet. So we're gonna head to that. And we're gonna use the Origins, the matte moisturizer with willow herb. This smells amazing. So that one is a mattifying moisturizer and I loved it. Just currently right now I have a different favorite. Doesn't mean that I won't stop using that. Clearly I'm still using it, but it has a lot of like skincare benefits to it. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeliner. I do have a video of it. I will link it down below, or I will insert a card somewhere, just so you guys can see how I do my eyeliner. So we're gonna skip this part right here. Now we are going to go in with the Cover FX mattifying drops, and we're going to mattify this region right here, which is just my T-zone because it's usually my oily areas. Now we're going to go in the Murad Invisiblur. I did do a review on this, so I really love this. It has an SPF of 30, it's a primer, it doesn't clog your pores. Like, there's a lot of great things about this. It has a lot of active ingredients, but I'll let you guys watch the video. I'll link that down below or put a card somewhere, one of the two. Massage between my fingers. I don't use this primer every day. I'm usually inside all the time, so I don't really see much sunlight 5 days a week, or maybe sometimes 6, or maybe 7 depending on the weather. I will use this when I go out during the weekends, if it's sunny outside, just any time where I'm going to be outside more than I usually am. Because having an office job, you're not really outside a lot. Like, I'm inside a good chunk of the day, I'm in front of a computer, like I don't really see much sun. But yes, anyways, like I said, today we are going to be wearing this, and I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit, and then we're gonna put on the foundation. I'm gonna go with 2 different colors. This is NARS Sheer Glow. Normally during the summertime I'm this shade, the Stromboli, but because summer is almost over and I haven't really gotten much sunlight, I don't know, since I went tanning like sometime last month, I'm slowly getting lighter. So I'm not exactly this color, but I'm not exactly this light either, compared to the rest of my body. So I'm gonna mix these two. Okay, so I have mixed everything, and I am gonna go in with a NYX foundation brush, number 3. So I'm gonna dot that everywhere, and we're gonna blend. So I really love this foundation as an everyday, especially when I'm in the office, because it looks very natural. So it's not a full coverage foundation, it is buildable. If you haven't tried it before, you guys need to. And don't let the words sheer glow terrify you if you have oily combination skin, because if you are hydrating your skin using a good primer, this is not going to make you look overly oily. And also, especially with the primer in combination with the foundation, it really gives like this airbrush kind of look. And also, especially during the summertime, where if you don't really want to wear heavy foundation, I would really recommend this. So just so you guys know, the lighter shade is Guadalupe. I don't think I ever mentioned that, but that is usually my kind of like my fall transitioning to winter shade. During the winter time, I'm a little bit lighter, And then during the fall, I'm in this like weird transition where I'm still kind of dark but not completely light. So this is like my in between seasons. I'm not that pale during the winter time, but I'm pretty light. And then summertime, that's Strumble is usually my shade, and this is kind of like an in between. But even that in between part, I'm kind of getting there, so that's why I have to mix these two colors. So now we're gonna go with the sponge just to make this a little bit more airbrushed. Take away any excess product, like how a beauty blender should. Now, this one is from Primalux, and I also did a video on this. Make sure the neck is blended out. So now we're gonna go in with concealer. We're gonna go with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I like to use different types of concealers. So for the brightening part, we're gonna go in with Jeffree Star and then Born This Way. Jeffree Star's concealer in C8. Now, when I read this as a light to medium, I thought it was going to be a little bit darker, but this is white. Like, this is really, really light. So in order for me to kind of tone that down, I kind of mix it with the Born This Way concealer. Because I really like Jeffree's concealer in terms of like the consistency and how it blends. It's really, really nice. But also, I don't want to be this dark or that light, so I also mix those as well. Some people might be like, this is your everyday look, you do this every day. Like, yep, I do. It may seem much to some people, but for me, I've done this for so long, it's just, I wouldn't say it's second nature, but I'm so used to it right now. Especially when I go to work, because I kind of want to look like I'm awake and I'm alive. If I just go into work looking just like no makeup on or anything like that, I kind of look a little tired, not awake, not really presentable. So for me, I want to look presentable and awake, refreshed, that type of thing. And if I have to go through these steps just to make myself look like that, then so be it. So next we're going to go in with the Sigma 3D HD brush to blend everything else out on my nose. I don't know what it is, but I'm having a really good makeup day today. Like, better than my days when I have to wake up for work. Maybe it's just because it's the weekend and I have a little bit more time. I'm also going to go in with another concealer. This is the Cover FX Power Play in G Medium 1. So I'm just going to dot all this. So now we are going to contour the nose, and we're going to go in the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, but this is in the color Caramel. I don't like to go too dark with my contour because I'm going to go over that with a powder. So I don't want it to look too harsh, but dark enough where it's noticeable. So it's just a natural shadow. So that's why I prefer something like this shade. And then the contour powder, we're going to go over that. And then just deepen that up a little bit. This is a large fluff brush from Sigma. It's the E50. This is great for a all over shade if you want to use it for that. I personally use it to help contour my nose. It helps blend everything out so nicely. And if you guys want to really see how I contour my nose, I will link the video as well. Especially for an Asian nose, because most videos that I've seen is a lot of people with like they already have a high nose bridge, kind of like a pointed nose already. But for the people who don't have those types of noses, and you have a similar nose shape to mine, I would recommend watching that video. It helps a lot. And seeing all the comments and the likes and the views, I'm just like, I'm glad that everyone likes it. Like, I was so surprised. I didn't think it would do that well because I figured, oh, it's another contouring video, it's just gonna get lost somewhere. But a lot of people have watched it, and I don't know what to say. Like, I'm really happy for that. It has about 20,000 views right now, and I'm glad that it helped a lot of people. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it does look a little bit more lifted, and you can see a bit more of a shadow. So I'm just gonna go with the sponge and kind of just blend it out a little bit more, just to make sure that there isn't any harshness anywhere, because that's the last thing that we need. So now we're just gonna put some powder and bake this region right here because we still have to brighten up the under eyes. Now, I kind of switch back and forth with the Milk Blur and Set powder and my Chanel powder. So today I am using the Milk Makeup one. I take a bit of the powder and concentrate on the tip of my nose first, because this also helps to brighten up as well, to help for that lifted look. You know, those who have a button nose like mine. By the way, for all my Asians out there, tell me if your parents or someone you know has ever like told you this. So when I was younger, I went to a predominantly white school. Most of them were Italian, and I grew up with a lot of white people. So for me as an Asian, just seeing their features compared to mine, and I'm like envious of like the tall, the nose bridge, you know, like it has some height to it. Mine, not so much. It's a little flat, and it's a lot wider. It actually looks like a button. I disliked my nose as a child. Now I don't mind it. I like it, and because of contouring, it can help me kind of make the illusion that it looks more lifted. But anyways, when I was a kid, my mom would tell me, hey, if you want a nose like that, just keep pinching your nose every day and you will get that. Stupid me, as a kid, being so naive, I did that every day and saw no difference. And I would go to my mom and be like, oh, look, my nose looks so high and so pinched now. Please tell me I wasn't the only one that thought that, because if that's the case, that's a little sad for me. So now I'm gonna go in with another brush to pick up the product and brighten up this area and set it as well. So I'm using the Sigma Tapered Face F25 brush. Picked up some of the product and, you know, just set it. So we're gonna save that for later. Now we are gonna go in with the Jeffree Star again to brighten up the under eyes here. And because Jeffree's concealers are so pigmented, a little does go a long way. Like literally. So I'm not gonna put that much, a little bit on the side here, just to help narrow the look of my nose a little bit. Okay, so I actually did something else so this can sit a little bit. So now we're gonna blend this out. And also, reason why we are gonna really brighten up the area, because we're gonna go with the Charlotte Tilbury powder. And that powder was a lot darker than I thought it would be, and I thought it was going to be a little bit more sheer, but I guess not. So, but the effect that it gave was so nice. I just didn't want to go back and exchange it, so I just kept it. So we are now going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury, and just gonna blend this out again, make sure there are no lines. I'm gonna go in with a generic brush, go in and set that under eye. And this is, I don't know if the camera can tell or if you guys can tell, but after I put this powder on, even with a brush, it darkened up the area, which I did not want, but it gave such a nice effect. So that is why we're gonna go in with the Milk powder, the Blur+Set powder again in light, to help brighten that up a little bit again, because I don't like something that's overly brightening because it just looks unnatural at this point. I like something where it helps brighten but not to the point where it looks like there's a flashlight. I don't like anything that just looks overly stark white compared to my complexion. So back to the Milk makeup, and we're gonna set it again and brighten it up. So now we're gonna go in with a different powder for the all over face. Swirl it around and set the foundation. And I love this powder because it really gives like a blurring effect to it. Okay, so now we are gonna go in with MAC's contouring shade. So this is in the color Sculpt, and as you can see, I've used a lot of it. I use it to contour my cheeks and to enhance the contour on my nose. For me, I don't need a lot of contour on my cheeks because I feel like it's already chiseled enough. I just need maybe a little bit of help but nothing too overly exaggerated. They're pretty high, they're pretty out there already, and I just want to show it off a little bit more because because my foundation and everything kind of like blends my face together. So this helps kind of elevate and creates a bit of shadow for my cheekbones. I'm gonna grab a bit of that powder. So we're gonna be using an angled fluffy brush to help enhance the contour of the nose. Just lightly go over that. Don't go in with a heavy hand. So just grab any angled brush that you have and we're gonna contour the hollows of the cheeks using that same contour color from MAC. Suck in those cheeks so you could see there's that line right there. Lift up the shadow and we're gonna go from the temples and a little bit on the side of the forehead. And repeat on the other side. As you can see, it kind of gave that lifted look. We look a little bit more slimmer. So I do want to warm up my face a little bit, so we're going to go in the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and bronzer. Duh. So with a thicker fan brush, this is the NYX 06 brush. Just going to go in. Tap off the excess and suck in those cheeks again. Just lightly go over. Don't go in with a heavy hand because we did that contour already. There's no point to go in with a heavy hand. Just slightly go over. So we're going to do a little bit of reverse contour. This is the Morphe R8 brush. This is just a very flat brush. This is really great for contouring and everything. So I'm gonna go with the Sacha Buttercup. This is called Buttercup Light, and help chisel this out a little bit more and to help contour that nose. So with that brush, and there's some product in the cap here, I'm gonna pick some of that up and reverse contour. Yep. And you don't need a lot. We're not baking, we're just creating a line to help elevate that contour a little bit. As you can see, it looks like it's lifted in there a little bit. We're almost done, I swear. So now I'm gonna go in with the Milani brush with a Nadia Ngo fluffy blush brush. This is a really good quality brush, by the way. It's really, really soft. I've been loving this for quite some time. So we're gonna pick up some of that product, tap off the excess, and smile. Put on the apples of the cheeks and just blend that out. I really love this color because not only does it suit my complexion, it's just the blush itself from Milani. They have great blushes. Like, it blends out, it's buildable. I don't like anything that's just pigment right off the bat. Like, I feel like it's so hard to fix that. In some cases, it's good to have a lot of pigment, but when it comes to blush, I prefer something that's more buildable. So now we're gonna add some shine to the nose. We're gonna use the Tarte Stunner Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Highlighter. Just pick that up a little bit. This is a generic pencil brush, and we're just gonna put that on the tip of the nose. So then pick up a little bit more. We're gonna concentrate that on this section right here where my bridge starts. It's like in between my tear ducts. We'll concentrate on there. No, it won't be a look if I don't, use more than one product. So now I'm gonna go in with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. Pick some of that up. So this one is a more softer highlight, which I prefer for the rest of my nose, like the bridge, because I feel like Stunner's a little bit too starking for it. But on top of one another, it complements one another really, really well. Stunner's too bright, well, the Hourglass one isn't bright enough. And I prefer the softness of the Hourglass, but I prefer it to be a little bit more noticeable when it comes to my highlights. So I don't know, I'm a little weird. So something that's soft but noticeable. Yeah, right. So that is why I mix these two and I use both of them. So I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but the tip of my nose looks a lot more pointed, and this part gives the illusion that it is lifted, like a more pinched nose, so to speak. So now we're gonna set the face. So I hope you guys enjoy this video once again. I know my everyday look is pretty lengthy, but if you are looking for that airbrush flawless look, regardless if it's for an everyday look for yourself or even like a going out like base, because this helped me a lot. So I hope these tips, tricks, and the products I use will help you guys out. So anyways, I hope I see you guys in the next one. Bye.